In 1991, I was invited to the Pesaro Film Festival in Italy, and they were having a retrospective on American independent cinema of the 80s. And my film had just been finished in 1990, so that counted. But anyway, they invited my film. And there were all these like really kind of important filmmakers there. And everyone would have like lunch and dinner together in this restaurant every day. And it was kind of really exciting for me. And one of the filmmakers was this guy I didn't know. His name was Jay Rosenblatt. And I went to see his film and I couldn't believe it. It was like so beautiful. And it was exactly the film I would have made if I could have made it. I felt like I was not just seeing a great film, but I was like meeting a soulmate or something or a brother. And I just went up to him and I was like, I love your film so much and I want to be your friend. And he was kind of taken aback and he was like, oh, okay. He hadn't seen my film yet, so he didn't really feel that way. And actually, when he did see it, he didn't feel that way either. I don't think he saw my film as like the film he would have made or that I was his soulmate, but um, I felt like he was mine. And we became friends and we traveled through Italy together. And it was me, him, and Dee. And me and Dee were kind of a couple at the time. And I think we spent a night in a hotel room and we like shared a bed. And I remember Dee telling me that like in my sleep, I like leaned over and like was hugging him. um, and me and Dee broke up soon after that, but me and Jay stayed friends. And he lived in San Francisco, so I would only see him when I went there when he came to LA. And, he would ask me for help with his films, and I loved helping him because his films were great. And he really appreciated it. And, he would help me with mine. And we were just like friends, like really good friends. And then I moved to San Francisco and we became even better friends. And we'd had like a video correspondence for a while. And the thing about his films that I loved so much was they were the most emotional films I'd ever seen. And they had the most access to grief of any films I'd ever seen. Like his films were so grief stricken. And my films aren't like that. My films are kind of like comedies, but I love grief and I love feeling it. And I love the way his film's like a corkscrew that just opens your heart and just makes you sob. Like I just would sob at all of his films. And I love that feeling. And, we're still like really close. We had a couple of fights over the years, usually my fault. But, I call him whenever I'm upset about anything. He's the person I call. And he's just such a great listener. And he's just like really thoughtful. And he calls me out on stuff when he thinks I'm wrong and helps me to see things, but in a way that's really gentle. And I sometimes feel guilty because like I call him when I'm upset, but he doesn't really call me when he's upset. Like I don't think he sees me as someone he can call. But he's kind of my closest friend.